Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. My name is Mabi, and today I'm going to give you my pretty much final thoughts on Kingdom Come Deliverance. Now, as of recording this video, this game came out, around a week ago, and it came out of nowhere, not a lot of hype for it. I actually just picked it up right on the Steam page because it looked like my type of game. A lot of people, compared it to, it's really difficult to tell people, oh, this game is exactly like this, and this is exactly like that. But it just gives you a really nice base point of where to think about when picking up games. And a lot of people have been saying, oh, this is like Skyrim mixed with Witcher, where it has first-person combat, but it's in some sort of medieval setting with a lot of different story points. It's a pretty mature game. I was totally down, so I went ahead and got it, and the first couple hours, oh my god, they were so good. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen my series yet. I have episode 1 through 6 over here on my main channel, but then I thought it's not really a good series slash type of recording that I would usually do for the main series, because first of all, even though it was like highly edited to cut out most of the loading screens, a lot of the boring parts, a lot of the breaks from the live streams, that's it's from a live stream. So I've decided to take parts 7 through however many I do, and they're going to be on my VOD channel, so please check it out down below if you want to see the rest of the videos that I've been putting up. But let's go ahead and talk about my final thoughts on Kingdom Come Deliverance. Like I said, the first couple hours were so good. Let's go ahead and get into the story portion of the game. Well, I'm gonna give, I played this game a good amount of hours yet. There's no way a full, complete review, 100% review, but I'm gonna go ahead and give this like my numbers. I'm gonna go ahead and give him some ratings, 1 out of 10. We'll start with story. Now, it starts with you as the blacksmith son, and there might be some spoilers, but it's not like I completed the whole game, but let's just say there's like 10 hours plus, so I think it was a good base for my final thoughts here. You're the blacksmith son, you're in this town, you're hanging out with your friends, throwing crap at other people's houses, small pranks, and all of a sudden, war is happening, and, things, get destroyed, people die, and you are thrown out into this big, large world where you have to fend for yourself. You have to figure out exactly what's going on. Lots of main quests, lots of side quests. So without too many spoilers, the story, as far as I got, is a 7 out of 10. It's a really, really fun game. It's not really too much magical stuff going on. I think the most magical, it's really grounded, is what I want to say. It's Skyrim, has Dragonborn stuff and magic. Same thing with Skyrim, it's a Witcher or whatever. This game, the crazy magical thing that I have come across was probably the mechanics of potions, which, really buff up your character. But other than that, it's pretty realistic. And, with the setting that they're trying to go with. So story, 6 out of 10. It's all good. Next up, we're going to talk about the gameplay, and this is probably the best thing the game has going for it, the gameplay. Now, let's talk about what you do most of the time. You're running around the world, which is a really good looking world. I mean, I was playing on medium settings because, with most games I can play on very high settings, but, I'm running a lot of different programs at the same time that I'm actually live streaming. I'm recording it so I can edit it and stuff like that. So I put it down to medium, but it still looked really, really good. So the gameplay is you run around the world, and you either do the main quest, which takes you to lots of different people, and they teach you lots of different skills, or you run around and do what you want to do. And I ran around for a good 7+ hours running, going all over the place, and it looks like the game really doesn't limit you on where you can go in the world as long as you can get there. And there are lots of trials and tribulations and everything that tries to stop you. There are tons of random enemies, humans, with caps all over the place. Sometimes you're just walking through a dirt road, and then you see a knight who wants to wager a battle against you for some money, and not just for glory. He wants silver. It's really crazy. I remember this one time I was just walking through the woods, and all I heard was some whistling and some rhyming, and I looked all over the place. I couldn't see what was happening until I went off the beaten path, because the game's pretty open, you know, you can easily get lost, you know. So I walked into the forest and I saw some like guy in a brown robe just up against the tree. I was like, really? You can easily miss this guy. So I just walked right in and he went ahead and said, hey, you want to have fun? You want to wager some money for some riddles? So I did a riddle and I failed it, obviously. And then, yeah, it's just a lot of random events like that. But besides that, let's talk about the combat gameplay portion. So it's like, you know, the story part's pretty simple. Walk around, talk to people, a lot of choices, etc. But the gameplay portion for combat, it's pretty freaking good. A lot of people have been saying, oh, it's kind of like mount and blade combat, where you actually have to attack using different directions, you know, up, down, left, all that good stuff. But you also have to block in different directions. And I got into a lot of combat situations using my fist, and a lot of combat situations using my sword. And I have to say, it is a well-defined combat system. I played a little bit with the archery system. It's pretty broken. Really, they want you to really like learn how to use the bow from scratch. So the first time you pick it up, your character doesn't even know how to hold it well. If you hold it for too long, you hurt your hand. There's no reticule, no crosshairs, no nothing. It's really hard to hit anything, but as you level it up, you're surely gonna get better at it. But let's go back to the you know, the sword play. For instance, you know, they have this little star pattern on, you know, your crosshair, and it has a little, you know, it's all yellow, different directions, and then it's red when you move your mouse towards it. So if you see an enemy about to attack up, you have to manually move up with your mouse and hold the block button. And whenever you strike, you got to choose the direction. But here's the thing, like, combat gets insane. You know, forget about more people. Having a lot of people around you, it's difficult enough. But you finding a one-on-one with a really good AI, you know, you attack left, boom, he blocks it, he's about to counter right, you block that, and then you know, you stab. It's a lot of fun. You have a kick command. Oh my god. Like, that was probably my favorite part of the game, was the actual combat. It was so fun. Let's move on to the audio portion. A lot of the game's, you know, personality really comes out in voices, and this game has a huge plethora of various voices, and I'm not sure what to think of them, but overall, let's say they're pretty good. The main character, Henry, you know, he has some okay personality. Everything that he actually brings out when he does actually talk, you know, it's believable, it's nice. I didn't know what to really think of him as a main character at the start, but then, as with most main characters, you stick it out and you hang out with him. Because the first time I saw his model, I was like, damn, that guy looks just like a throwaway, like, NPC or something like that. But, you know, you learn to grow with him. He's like a little wuss, but then you get to build him up the way you want, which is pretty cool. So voice acting is okay. I heard a lot of different types of accents in the game, and I remember live streaming, and whenever I would do long dialogue segments, a lot of people would comment on the voices saying, wow, that guy really doesn't have an accent, or, oh man, I love these voices. It's just a huge spectrum of stuff, and where I land is, I like it, it's pretty good, it gets the job done. You understand what they're saying, they're not too out of place, and they're not annoying, where you're always like, oh man, do I even want to talk to this NPC? I don't want to sit through all this dialogue. Besides the dialogue, sound effects are good, you know, it's pretty simple. You swing a sword, you hear the clank clank of the blade and all that stuff, and even when you're running around, it's really interesting that all the little small details that they put into this game, because they worked on it for like 4 years plus, and I can't believe we haven't like heard of it. Like I said, at least I have it. It hasn't really been hyped up for me. I didn't really see it anywhere, and I'm a really big game connoisseur. I like look for lots of crazy games, but this one came out of nowhere. But anyway, like, you know, if you wear heavy armor and you run around, you can actually hear like the clink of your armor, and you can take it off, and it's actually used for a lot of stealth combat and all of that good stuff. So yep, sound effects are good. Music is pretty alright. A lot of the time I don't even, you know, recognize that they have music going on. But there is like a really good sense of like, this is the medieval times, you know, you get those sort of like soundtracks going on, let's say. So not much else to say on the audio portion. You know, it was whatever, it's all good. So with everything that I've said so far about the story, the gameplay, and you know, I can talk about the gameplay for, I don't even know, hours probably, because there are just so many things. And one of the biggest things that I want to give the game compliments on is the scope of the different types of ways that you could build up your character. There are, you know, it looked pretty simple at first, but then when you're able to open up the menu and see every little skill that you have, you can see all the different perks that you have, and then you're like, oh man, that's a lot, and then you switch over pages like that. That was just, you're like, there's like 3 tabs of different types of level up, like stuff you can do. It's actually pretty daunting and it's pretty cool. You have your main level and all your stats, and then you level up doing various things. So for instance, if you want to increase your vitality and get in a lot of battles and win, you want to increase your agility, you better run and vault over a lot of things. And then you switch over tabs, and there's like a combat tab. You want to get good at swords, you keep whacking people with your sword. Archery, you keep shooting wild animals or dead bodies, and then you level up them, and then you get better at them, and then you learn perks. And then you switch over another tab. Hey, you know, you want to get better at herbalism, keep picking up flowers. You want to get better at and this one's pretty funny, reading. Yeah, at the beginning of the game, your character doesn't know how to read. That was pretty funny to me. So what you had to do was you had to go find a scholar in the world, pay him to teach you how to read, and then you can finally open up books. Because when you open up books before, it's all jibbled up, mashed up letters that you can't really comprehend. But then you learn to read, you can read them all, so you can read maps even better. And there's treasure maps are really fun, by the way. So there's treasure maps you can read. There's regular books with lore, but if you open those lore books up, you earn reading skills. And then there's also skill books, a la like probably, you know, Skyrim stuff, where you read a book and your skill goes up. But this one has a reading mechanic where you know, instead of sleeping, you can go ahead and sit down for a couple hours in the game and read, and you can progress and go through a whole book. Now, I really, my favorite thing too with starting increase was the reading skill, because not only do you learn learn different perks from that thing, but you also get different perks. Like I said perks twice, huh? Like one of my favorite perks was the magistrate ability, where you could persuade the guards. And it's really role-playish, because you're like, I'm reading a lot, I'm being more literate, I can be more persuasive against guards and stuff like that. Even the armor that you're wearing, there's so many small details in the game, such as, you know, like when you talk to people, your charisma level, it's whatever, but it all depends on your personality and what you're wearing and how intimidating you look. If you've just been in a battle, you got a bloody sword, your intimidation goes up, you know, and stuff like that. But if you're like super dirty, your conspicuousness goes up, and if people will get more suspicious of you. It's really, really interesting. So with my total time of about 10 hours playing, I did an okay amount of story missions, but for the most part I wanted to explore the world, run around and do a lot of side quests, which I did. The game took me all over the place, you know, stealing goods, you know, taking back from robbers and stuff like that. The most fun I had though was just, like I said, messing around, doing exactly what I wanted to, which was playing a thief build who knew how to read. I wanted to become a Robin Hood character, that I was rich and I stole from the rich, so not really Robin Hood, but you know what I'm saying. So I would go to, because this game is like really, really forgiving, because as long as there are no witnesses left over, you could essentially do what you want. I'll give you a little of examples. Writing down I was running down a road here, just walking around. I saw a guy, so I walked up behind him. I snuck. You know, it was raining, so I had the perk where it would give me more, you know, noise reduction in the rain by 70%, which was nice. So I went up behind him. I did the sneak attack. You know, I had to put him out. I put him down. You know, I dragged him and put him away from the grass road. From the dirt road, so no one would see. I put him in the grass over here. I looked through his body, saw when I got some stuff, and then when I looked to the right, after I put down his body, I saw a grave, and then I opened up the grave with because I purchased the spade, so I put the body down, I grabbed his money, whatever, and then I saw the grave. I was like, oh my gosh! So I picked it up and I found even more money and like a necklace and a ring, and I was like, and then I put his body into the grave, and I was like, okay, here's your new home now. It's just stuff like that, and, you know, like actually sneaking into people's houses. The lock picking mechanic is good. The horse thing is good. I guess I can keep talking forever, but like I said, there are so many good things that I did not talk about, but I want to talk about the bad things. The bad things. Now, a lot of people have said this in the reviews, and some people have complained, and who have played it in my Twitch chat, saying that, yeah, the game has a really, really terrible save system. And I agree with them. I agree with them all the way. Here's the save system and how it works. you know, with most games like this, you have auto saves. You know, you accept a new quest, the game auto saves. You go to sleep, perhaps the game auto saves. This game does that to an extent, but you can't, you know, just press escape and save it or F5 whenever you want in this game. It's all about risk and reward, and it really, I mean, I give it props for trying to do this, right? For trying to make it so, hey, you can't save scum a lot of stuff like you would in Skyrim. Like if you want to pickpocket someone, you know, no one's gonna stop you. Hit F5, you pickpocket, they catch you. Oops, F9 to reload. Okay, let's try again. This game, no way, man. The next time, like, you save far and in between. I'm not even kidding when I say, like, it takes like half an hour to an hour, you know, unless you accept lots of missions to, you know, sleep and save your game. So anything you do, it's really gonna stick to you unless you're really lucky with the save points. But the only way to manually save wherever you are in the game is to drink an item called schnapps. I think it was schnapps. Save your schnapps or something like that. Now you can find those all over in the game, but you have to really much purchase them or find them in like chests and stuff like that. And that's really dumb. I don't even know how many times I've lost a lot of progress because, you know, I like my fun with the games, like killing, whatever. So I would get in a lot of trouble and I would die and I would lose like 30 minutes to 40 minutes progress at a time, and that really sets you back because you do a lot in those 30 minutes to 40 minutes, leveling up so many skills, talking to so many people, buying and selling things, doing small little increment things, and then all of a sudden a really bad situation that you get into, you just die, you lose a lot of progress. Whew, okay, but now we finally get to the portion where I tell you guys exactly, well, why I'm stopping my playthrough and why this video is called Final Thoughts, because I'm not going to play it for a long time, and here's the reason why. Bugs, game breaking bugs. Yeah, this game is really ambitious. There is no arguing that, and I want to love this game, and I do, but I don't like, you know, I don't want to shout out to the world and be like, play this game, because it's not ready, you know. Now, as of recording, there has been some patches that fix some things, but here's the deal. I can deal with funny glitches in the game. You know, maybe, you know, some dialogue gets skipped or something like that, or even some of the faces look weird. I even had a portion where I knocked out a lady, and this is funny more than anything. I knocked out a lady in her bedroom. Don't ask why. She was in her nightgown. I was moving the game has a ragdoll physics. I was moving the body around, and all of a sudden her neck, like, woo, it like expanded like an alien, and it was just really weird and funny. And I was dying and my chat was dying. It was pretty hilarious. But there are just like game breaking bugs that really take you out and just ruin the experience. Like, some glitches are funny, but this is really bad. I'll give you like 2 examples of some bad glitches that really mess things up for me. Let's do 3. No, I have 3. Yeah, now that I think about it. Okay, so the first one was, I was just running around the world. You know, I was gonna travel from the south of the map to north of the map, and you know, I was just gonna walk it. I don't want to quick travel so I can explore the world, right? Half an hour in, you know, I'm like 75% of the way there. I find a hut, and I was like, man, I haven't saved for a while. I need to go in that bed and sleep. So I slept in the bed in this nice hut. No one was around. I was like, cool. Okay, let me go explore a little bit more. 20 minutes later, I find a cumin, which is essentially the bandit slash enemies in the game. I find a village there. Not a village, sorry. A small camp, and I was like, okay, I'm going to try to take him out. I didn't realize that there were 4 to 5 people there. Now, this is my fault, but I got into a fight and I died, but that's okay. So I respawned. I was like, good, at least I didn't lose that much progress. So I respawned at my little shack, but my character, like, I can move the camera with my mouse. I can look all over the place. The UI was missing. I could not move besides looking around at the camera, WSD, everything. You know, escape didn't work. I couldn't even use the console. Everything was just broken, and I had to manually close the game down. I was like, okay, little bug, let me restart the game. So what I did was, I restarted it. It took me back. I woke up from the shack after the death, and same thing. So I had to restart from a previous save and lost another hour. So that was pretty annoying. And the other bug that happened was, you know, I was just talking to a lady. I was getting this new quest where the lady was like, my husband's died, but I'm now living with the executioner. I need to find my husband's family kin so I can go live with him. It was a pretty okay, dialogue scene, a couple minutes of me talking, and all of a sudden, I quit the dialogue. Boof, your character has died. He falls over, and it was weird. It was confusing. I don't know what the hell happened there. So then I lost a lot of progress there too. And then the other time, that was game breaking and stuff, I was in the middle of, doing my criminal escapades, half an hour plus of looting and stealing. I got a lot of good gear. I leveled up a lot of stats. And then, for some reason, the animations were broken. I couldn't swing my sword. I couldn't punch. When I would do stealth kills, instead of having the animation where you go up to a character and you cover their mouth, or stealth kills where you hit it with a knife, I would activate the command and the NPC would just fall down. So that was broken too. Everything was broken. All I had to do was restart and lose a lot. So, like, there are some funny ones, but then these ones destroy it and make it not fun to play. So until there are major big patches, and I'm not sure if there's going to be modding support, and I'm pretty sure, this game has this game is going to be a small little cult hit, I think. It's really, really good. But unless there's a big modding community, I don't think like the developers can catch every little bug, So here's hoping that maybe one day, all the bugs will be fixed, and I can go back and actually have some fun with this. So, with my final thoughts on this game, as of right now as it stands, a 6. I'm sorry, but as good as it is, and it's ambitious as all hell, I can't power through it because I'm afraid to keep losing too much progress. And it's okay if I'm like playing alone, having fun. Maybe you can explore and all that stuff, but I'm trying to go through a live stream here. I don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over again for the stream, so I'm giving it a 6. If it did not have those bugs and I'll still be able to play more, it would be an 8 out of 10. So, people compare this to Skyrim/Witcher. It's pretty much that, except a lot of bugs. So guys, this was my final thoughts review of this game. Feel free to try it out for yourself, but it is a full price game. Maybe you're going to want to pick it up a couple months later, where they, do a lot more bug fixes, maybe when it's a little cheaper. Anyway, I don't regret my experience with this game. I just wish it was more refined. So thanks for being here, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.